Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with new chapter in human physiology, locomotion and movement. Still, we are completed in 4 chapters in offline classes. The first chapter, digestion and absorption. The second chapter, breathing and exchange of gases. The third chapter, body fluids circulation. After the fourth chapter, excretory products and their elimination. Today we are going to start new chapter, very interesting topic. It is a very interesting chapter and very interesting topic. It is a fifth chapter in human physiology. The fifth chapter, human physiology, locomotion and movement. What is the fifth chapter? Locomotion and movement. Locomotion and fifth chapter, locomotion and movement. We're going to start with locomotion and movement. Locomotion and movement. Locomotion and movement. Locomotion and movement. In this chapter, we will discuss mainly focus on two things. The first one is a muscular system. Muscular system. The second one, skeletal system. In this chapter, we will mainly focus on the muscular system of the human beings, skeletal system of the human beings. First, before going to the muscular system and skeletal system, introduction of the locomotion and movement. The locomotions and movement. Introduction. First, the living organisms. It is one of the significant, the basic, important property of the living organisms, locomotion and movement. If you observe the living organisms like unicellular organisms, please, unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms. The unicellular organisms, the first important example for the unicellular organisms, amoeba. The important unicellular organism, amoeba. The second important unicellular organisms, that is Paramecium. The important unicellular organism, Paramecium. The third important unicellular organisms like Euglena. Amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena. The next important organisms, Hydra. These unicellular organisms, how they are moved one place to the other place. What are the locomotory organelles present in this amoeba, paramecium, euglena, hydra? If you observe the hydra, if you observe the amoeba, the first one, amoeba is a unicellular organism. If you observe the amoeba is a amoeba. If you observe the unicellular organisms like amoeba, the cytoplasma of the amoeba, it is known as a protoplasma. this protoplasma, the movement, this protoplasma move into the entire cell body. The amoeba, it is made up of only single cell. Once this cytoplasm or protoplasma move into the entire cell body, the entire cell, this plasma membrane is modified into the pseudopodium. 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 This pseudopodium are also known as a false feet. False feet. The pseudopodium, it is the locomotory organelles present in the amoeba. The locomotory organelle. The locomotory organelle. The locomotory organelle present in the amoeba. The locomotory organelle present in the amoeba is known as a pseudopodium. The pseudopodium are also known as a false feet. It is helpful for this pseudopodium. This pseudopodium is helpful for the capturing of the food particles and receiving of the food particles, and also helpful for the locomotion, and also helpful for the move one place to the other place. What is the function of this pseudopodium? What is the function of the pseudopodium? Capturing of the food particles. First important function, capturing of the food particles. Capturing of the food particles. Capturing of the food particles. The second important function, locomotion, move one place to the other place. Locomotion, move from the one place to the other place. Next one, the second important unicellular organisms like Paramecium. If you observe the Paramecium, if you observe the Paramecium, what are the locomotory organelles present? How they will move one place to the other place? The Paramecium is known as a slipper animalcules. The Paramecium is also known as a slipper animalcules. The Paramecium is also known as a slipper animalcules. If you observe the Paramecium, the outer surface of the entire body, outer surface, is consist of the small hair-like structures. The small hair-like structures, it is known as a cilia. It is known as a cilia. The cilia, it is the locomotory organelles present in the Paramecium. Cilia, locomotory organelle present in the Paramecium cilia. What is the function of this cilia? What is the function of this cilia? The cilia, it is locomotory organelles, move one place to the other place, and also it is helpful for the movement of the food particles. Movement of the food particles, and they will send into the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. This cilia, it is helpful for the movement of food particles into the cytoplasm. Cilia, it is helpful for the movement of food particles into the cytoplasm. In the Paramecium, how the Paramecium move one place to other place? With the help of cilia. These are the locomotory organelles present in the amoeba and Paramecium. The third important organisms, that is known as the third important organisms, it is known as the first one, amoeba. It is a pseudopodium, it is a locomotory organelles. The second one, Paramecium. The Paramecium cilia, it is the locomotory organelles present in the Paramecium. The third important organism, it is known as Hydra. This is the third important organ, Hydra. This Hydra. How the Hydra move one place to the other place? The Hydra is, if you observe the Hydra, it is going to stop. If you observe the Hydra, the superior, it is known as a mouth part, it is known as, it can just stop. Hypostome is the tentacles. These tentacles, with the help of tentacles, the Hydra, with the help of tentacles, what is the function of these tentacles? These are the locomotory organelles present in the Hydra. The locomotory organelles present in the Hydra. The locomotory organelles. Locomotory organelles present in the Hydra is known as the tentacles. What is the function of the tentacles? It is useful for the capturing of the food particles and also helpful for the locomotion. What is the function of the tentacles? Capturing of the food particles. Capturing of the food particles. Capturing of the food particles. The second important function. First one, capturing of the food particles. The second important function, locomotion. Move one place to the other place is also second important function. If you observe the unicellular organisms like Amoeba, what are the locomotory organelles? Pseudopodia. The second important, the Paramecium, important organism, Paramecium. The Paramecium, how they move one place to other place with the help of cilia. The third important property is present in the unicellular organisms like Hydra. It is Hydra. The Hydra also consists of tentacles. These tentacles, it is capturing of the food particles and also helpful for the locomotion. If you observe the fourth important organism, that is known as a Euglena. How the Euglena move one place to the other place with the help of. If you observe the Euglena, if you observe the Euglena, just of flagella. This flagella, with the help of flagella, the flagella, it is a locomotory organelles present in the Euglena. With the help of flagella, it is helpful for the capturing of the food particles or capturing of the prey and also helpful for the movement, locomotion. Capturing of the prey and also helpful for the locomotion. If you observe the Euglena, the capturing of the prey and also helpful for the locomotion. It is the unicellular organisms. In unicellular organisms, what are the movements? Types of movements. What are the movements in the types of movements? What is the first type of movement? If you observe in the amoeba, it is a protoplasmic streaming movement. Protoplasmic streaming movement. What is the example? Amoeba. protoplasmic stream movement observed in amoeba. The second movements, ciliary movement. Next one, flagellary movement, ciliary movement, flagellary movement, ciliary movement, flagellary movement, tentacles movement, tentacles movement, tentacles movement, ciliary movement. This ciliary movement, it is observed in Paramecium. The ciliary movement observed in Paramecium. The flagellary movement, it is observed in Euglena. The flagellary movement observed in Euglena. The tentacles movement is observed in Hydra. Hydra. The different locomotory organelles present in the unicellular organisms. If you observe the multicellular organisms like human beings, for example, movement of lips, movement of forelimbs, movement of hind limbs, movement of eyes, movement of jaws, these all movements, it is responsible for the locomotion. The locomotion and movement always interlinked. It is not a separated. It is not a varies. It is not a separated. The both are interlinked. This movement, it is helpful for the locomotion. But in our simple language, what is the locomotion? What is the movement? What is the meaning of locomotion? What is the meaning of movement? Okay. What is simple language? In our simple language, what is the locomotion? What is the movement? Locomotion means is the meaning of movement. Locomotion. Locomotion means change the place or position. Change the place or position is known as locomotion. Movement means change the body posture. Body posture is known as a change the place or position is known as a locomotion. Movement means change the body posture. It is known as a movement. What is necessary? What is important? What is the significance of this locomotory organelles? This locomotion and movement. What is necessary for the unicellular and multicellular organisms? They can move from the one place to the other place. For example, if you observe the birds during the unfavorable condition, they can move from the one unfavorable place to the favorable place. It is a harsh environment to the favorable environment. The only movement, that is the migratory activities, they move from the one place to the other place, only temporary movement. What is necessary for the birds move from the one place to the other place? What is necessary? What is important? What is the advantage? Okay, what are the advantages of the locomotory organisms? The organisms, with the help of locomotory organelles, they can move from the one place to the other place. What is the advantages? Is the advantages or the advantages of this organisms to move one place to the other place with the help of locomotory organelles. What is the first advantage? What is the first advantage? For the purpose of food, searching of the food. Okay. The second advantage for this organisms. What is the second advantage of even unicellular or multicellular organisms? The second advantage for the shelter. The third advantage for this one. The third advantage for the and mating. mating process. And fourth advantage, to escape the enemies, to escape from the enemies, to escape from the enemies, and also breeding process, and also during the unfavorable conditions, the birds move from the one place to the other place because of they want favorable conditions. This is known as a migratory activities. The migratory activities, best example, birds. Migratory activities, the favorable conditions. What are the important advantages of with the help of locomotory organelles, the organisms move one place to the other place. What is the first advantage? Food. Second advantage, shelter. The third advantage, mating process. The fourth advantage is to escape from the enemies or predators, or breeding process, and migratory activities. By the purpose of food, they can move from the one place to the other place with the help of locomotory organelles. With the help, it is the suitable, they will construction of the shelter, and they participate in the sexual reproduction or asexual reproduction, that is the mating process, and also to escape from the enemies, and breeding process, migratory activities, and also the best example, birds, they move from the unfavorable conditions, unfavorable places to the favorable places. They move from the favorable places by the purpose of food, shelter, mating, to escape from the enemies, and the breeding process, and also migratory activities. Next one, types of movements in our body. Types of movements. Types of movements in our body. Types of movements in our body. What are the types of movements in our body? What type of cells? They will exhibit different movements in our body. The first, observe what are the types of movements in our body. The first one, the first type is known as a amoeboid movement. Amoeboid movement. What is the first step? Amoeboid movement. The second type of the movement, after the amoeboid movement, second one, ciliary movement. What is the movement? Ciliary movement. Which type of cells? They will exhibit ciliary movement in our body. Third one, muscular movement. Ciliary movement, muscular movement. And fourth important, flagellary movement. flagellary movement. Types of movements in our body. Different types of cells, they will exhibit this movement. Amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, muscular movement, flagellary movement. Amoeboid movement. Which type of cells they will exhibit amoeboid movement? The two important is known as a macrophages and leukocytes. Macrophages and leukocytes. Macrophages and leukocytes. Leukocytes. Macrophages means these are the large cells present in our body, in our blood, in our different types of tissues. Is known as a macrophages. What is the function of the macrophages? They engulf the foreign material. They engulf the antigens. They will fight against the antigens. They act as a phagocytic in nature. The leukocytes, two types of cells, they will exhibit amoeboid movement. What is the first type of cells? It's known as a neutrophils. Neutrophils. The second type of cells, monocytes. Monocytes. Macrophages, neutrophils, monocytes, they will exhibit amoeboid movement. What is the necessary for they will exhibit amoeboid movement? They look like an amoeba. They engulf the foreign material. Increase the surface area, they engulf the foreign material. Whenever they reaches into the body tissues, the body tissues consist of the number of the thousands of the microorganisms. These two cells are helpful for they look like an amoeboid movement. They will exhibit amoeboid movement. They engulf the foreign material. That is the main target for the macrophages, leukocytes. They will exhibit amoeboid movement. They looks like a amoeba shape. That's nothing but amoeboid movement. The macrophages and the leukocytes, the both are exhibit amoeboid movement. These are the large cells present in our body. These are the large cells present in our body. Large cells present in our body. For example, I will give one example for the macrophages. The macrophages. For example, if you observe the nervous tissue, microglial cells, and if you observe the liver, Kupffer cells, these all are the macrophages. But the first, I will keep Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells is located in the liver. Ciliary movement. This ciliary movement, it is exhibited by which type of the respiratory tract and the respiratory tract cells and reproductive tract cells. The ciliary movement is exhibited by the trachea and exhibited by the fallopian tube. The trachea inner lining, it is made up of ciliated epithelium. It is made up of ciliated epithelium. Ciliated epithelium. What is the function of this ciliated epithelium? It is trap the dust particles to prevent the harmful microorganism does not enter into the trachea or respiratory tract. The main function of the trachea. And what is the function of the ciliary cell? The ciliated epithelium cells are present in the fallopian tube. The ovary produce egg cells. The ovum or egg cells, they transfer into the ovary to fallopian tube. Ovary to fallopian tube. Ovary to fallopian tube. egg cell or wound cell. With the help of ciliary epithelium, the egg cell is transferred from the travel from the ovary to pair with the help of ciliary epithelium. And the muscular movement. The muscular movement is exhibited by the muscles. The muscular movement is exhibited by the muscles, the different types of muscles. 639 muscles are located in our body. How many muscles? 639 muscles present in our body. Based on the location, based on the function, based on the actions, based on the appearance, the muscles are classified into different criteria. That is, we will discuss next later. Okay. Next one, muscular movement is exhibited with the muscles. Next one, flagellary movement. This flagellary movement, it is exhibited by in human beings. The flagellary movements exhibited by in human beings. The flagellary movement is exhibited by in human beings. This flagellary movement exhibited by the human beings. In human beings, that is known as a sperm cells. The sperm cell are spermatozoa. If you observe the sperm cells is a head, neck, middle piece, tail. The tail of the human sperm cell, they will exhibit flagellary movement. It is helpful for the locomotion. With the help of flagella, they can move they can reach inside the female genital tract. If you observe the sponges, in sponges, this flagellary movement, it is exhibited by the in sponges conocyte cells. This conocyte cells are helpful for the to maintain the water current. To maintain the water current. The types of movement in our body. Amoeboid movement. This amoeboid movement is exhibited in macrophages and leukocytes. The macrophages are nothing but large cells present in our body. It is known as a macrophages, the large cells. And leukocytes. What are the leukocytes? Neutrophils and monocytes. Second category, ciliary movement. The ciliary movement exhibits trachea and fallopian tube, and ciliated epithelium and the fallopian tube. The ovary is also considered epithelium cells. This ovary, whenever the ovary produces egg cell, this egg cell moves from the ovary to fallopian tube. Muscular movement, it is exhibited with the muscles. How many muscles are present in our body? 639 muscles. Flagellar movement. The flagellar movement in the human beings, the sperm cells are spermatozoa, they will exhibit flagellar-like movement. And also in the sponges, they consist of special cells, endoderm, it is consist of conocytes. These conocytes are helpful to maintain the water current. It is also helpful for the movement. It is also maintain the water current and the flagellary movement. This movement is absorbed in our body. Thank you.